Good labor isn't cheap, and cheap labor isn't good. Change my mind. Too many times throughout my work history have I ran into a situation where everybody wants to save some money by paying somebody cheaper than the other guy to do the same job, and 9 times out of 10, the guy that was paid less to do the same job screws it up one way or the other. And then you have to pay somebody that knows what they're doing after the other person already screwed it up to come through and fix it. Also, if you get somebody that, let's just say, is not so strong or fairly weak, and you want them to lift heavy things, chances are they're going to have limitations. Versus somebody else that's strong enough to lift heavy things, they're not going to have as many limitations, but that also comes at a cost. And if you, as an employer, are trying to find a strong laborer, a skilled laborer, or somebody that's actually not going to break anything in the process, I'm sorry, that's also going to cost you a lot more than the minimum, okay? A lot of times these employers or people that I've seen employ people on the cheap or at the minimum, again, you get what you pay for. You can't be surprised when they screw things up, when they can't lift the heavy, when they just overall can't get the job done. You can also be too big. Sometimes too big is a thing, okay? Sometimes you can be too big to fit into a certain space, and you need someone a little bit smaller to fit within that certain space. So finding somebody bigger and stronger could be as hard as finding somebody smaller and more nimble that can fit into tighter spots, or that can do things that a larger person can't. Somebody that's more athletically in shape versus somebody that is not in athletic shape. These are other things that can be contributing factors to a solid laborer or good employee. You offer to pay for somebody's lunch. Don't say pick whatever you want, because they're going to pick whatever they want. Maybe they're really hungry. Okay, maybe they have a high metabolism. Maybe they need a full combo and not just a burger. You know, there's been a handful of times as a laborer where I haven't been fed very well. And those times I was just starving Marvin at the end of the day because it wasn't enough food. There were other times that I was fed very well. And I was able to not only get the job done, but still had a little bit of energy left over in reserve to keep going. So that's one. You're going to offer to pay for somebody's gas. Don't wait a week to pay them. Do it right away. Okay? If they have to use their card to pay for the gas, then as soon as you meet them or bump into them, make sure you got it in hand to pay for it. That way you don't have to retract and go through statements and have any kind of debates or debacles about whether or not you paid them for it, because maybe you didn't. So then you have to decide if you're going to take their word or you're going to trust what it is that you believe. You might just piss somebody enough to where they walk. You might just make them mad enough to where they leave. Okay? It goes both ways, and this is what you have to deal with when you're a laborer. It's what you deal with when you're doing a cash job. Okay? Cash is easy come, easy go. Might have a cash job one day, next day might have no work and can't get anything done. It's hard when you're working a cash job because you really just never know when it's going to be your time. Okay? You never know when that person's just going to go ahead and let you go. And the same thing with a cash employee. You never know when they're going to find something a little bit more solid, a little bit more fixated, or now they don't need to be there. And that can change the thing too. Other contributing factors might be intelligence level or skill set. We talked about that. Somebody might not be very big or strong, might not be very small or nimble, but might have it up here. Okay, and they're a thinker. You got to pay for the thought process. You got to pay for them to do what it is that they do. Think about, plan about, and get it done for you. Nothing beats solid employment. When you can get solid employment where you're getting a consistent check and you have consistent income and you know exactly what it is to expect every 2 weeks or every week or every month, however you're paid. Some people are paid salary monthly. Some people are paid bi-monthly. Some people are paid weekly. But once you get that solidarity in your life and you know what you can expect pay-wise, it helps you to gauge how much you can afford to be at that job, to be in that profession. Okay? I've done some unnecessary spending in my life, especially when I had a really, really good job. And, you know, I've had to tighten the belt loop up a handful of times when I did not have a job. These are things that you're going to go through. But if you're working a cash job, understand that there are going to be some huge obstacles that you're going to have to overcome. Some huge sacrifices that you're going to have to overcome. There's going to be some indifferences you're going to have to overcome. Nobody necessarily wants to hear your idea until it turns out to be a good idea and they wish they would have gone with it first. These are things that you deal with, especially when it's not your own business. That's all I got for this rant. See you guys next time. Hope all is well. I do have an upcoming interview here on Monday, hopefully, or Tuesday. I just got done doing a urinalysis test. Stepping back into the dealership life. It's going to be for another Chrysler dealership, hopefully. Okay, fingers crossed. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it. Hope you guys are looking forward to it. Maybe we can get back to some kind of regularity here on the YouTube. But I've been looking for work, man. I've been looking, and it's getting harder and harder and harder. So I'm really hoping that things start turning around here this next week. But we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. Thanks for your views. We'll see you later. Doses.